Good afternoon. Please be seated. Welcome. I'm Dr. Ruby Hayden, Vice President of Student Services, and welcome to the 2019 Lake Washington Institute of Technology Commencement Ceremony. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the remarkable achievements of our students. Today's celebration marks a fundamental transition in the lives of our students as they depart Lake Washington Institute of Technology for careers or higher education. Members of the class of 2019, we honor your accomplishments and congratulations. To begin our celebration, we ask that you please rise as you are able and join Maisha Wongren, Lake Washington Institute of Technology Coordinator of Outreach and Recruitment and member of the Seattle Women's Choir, who will lead us in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Thank you, Maisha. I would like to introduce our members of the Board of Trustees, the Lake Washington Executive Team, and the Lake Washington College Foundation Vice President. I will ask each of them to please stand and remain standing. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Our college trustees are appointed by the governor and serve as the governing board for our college. With us this afternoon are our trustee members, Daryl Mitsunaga, Laura Wildfong, Ann Hamilton, and Robert Malty. We are also joined by our College Foundation Vice President, Clara Haleen. The college's executive team is led by President Dr. Amy Morrison, and she is supported by the Vice President of Administrative Services, William Thomas, Vice President of Instruction, Dr. Suzanne Ames, Executive Director of Human Resources, Mina Park, Director of Marketing and Communications, Leslie Shattuck, Director of Institutional Research, Kathy Copeland, Executive Director of the Foundation and Development, Elizabeth Sorensen, and our Chief Information Officer, Chris McLean. Next, I would like to introduce our exceptional employees. Will our deans and associate deans please stand and be recognized? Will our faculty members please stand and be recognized? And now will our many wonderful staff stand and please be recognized? These are the individuals that work with our students on a daily basis to help them achieve their educational goals. Thank you for the contributions that you have made to our students and our graduation candidates who are here today. It is now my pleasure to introduce Associate Professor Tom Abbott, who will deliver the faculty address to our graduation candidates.
Okay, my name's Tom Abbott. I'm a member of the faculty in computing and software development, and I'm a little nervous, so I brought my own copy of what I was going to say, even though they provide one for me here with 3 holes punched in it. What I wanted to talk about today was a method that I've used over the years to keep my career goals and objectives right out in front of me where I can see them. Because sometimes when things are happening at work, and some of you are going to see what that's like real soon, it's kind of hard to keep all that in focus sometimes. And I'd like to do that by way of talking about an example or two, 4 to be exact, not or 2. I know exactly how many. And I also know how long this should take, so I'm going to set this here. When I graduated high school, I did what a lot of people in my high school did. I went to college, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I stumbled around the curriculum for about a year, and then I bailed. I just dropped out. It was costing a lot of money and a lot of time, and I wasn't getting anything out of it, and I had decided I would make my way in life without the benefit of a college education. And where I got to with that strategy after about 2 years was drilling holes in metal castings in a factory. And after I drilled enough holes in enough metal castings, I got thinking, you know, maybe college wasn't such a bad idea after all. And so I went to the local community college and I signed up for a couple classes. One of the classes I took was Introduction to Computer Programming. That class was so cool. That was exactly what I wanted to do. But I didn't know what I was looking for when I walked in that class, but once I saw what it was about, I was like, this is what I want to do. And by the 10th week, as I'm handed in my final, I said to the instructor, what do I need to do to make this my career? And he told me that there is just starting to be a small number of colleges that offer bachelor's degrees in computer science. You might want to check out one of those. And I did. I enrolled in one, and a few years later I had a bachelor's degree in computer science. Much better. Fast forward about 10 years, and I'm working at a large Northwest aerospace manufacturer. I've been there about 8 months. I've been married about 12 months. My wife and I are living in an apartment, and we're expecting a baby anytime soon. And we bought a house. That's what you do, right? When you start a family, that would be a good idea, buy a house. And on a Friday afternoon, we went to the bank and we turned over all of our life savings and every other paycheck for the next 30 years to pay for this house. Monday, I go to work, 3 days later, and we're in a meeting, and they're explaining to us, we're now entering into a layoff cycle, and it's going to be a big one. We plan on reducing our headcount by 25%. So if you haven't been here for 8 years or more, you better buff up your resume. And that's exactly the way they told us, buff up your resume. I was a little concerned. Actually, I was devastated. I was convinced in that moment that I had signed myself, my new wife, and our unborn child up for 30 years of financial disaster. And a friend of mine who'd been there a while, he knew the drill. He'd been through this before. He said, what you need to do right now is try to establish a second source of income. And I mean, when he said that, it just sounded so crazy because like I was thinking primary source of income, but he said, no, it'll take a couple of years for them to catch up to our group. But I would suggest that you do what I do. And he was teaching part-time at a community college. He said, if you're interested in giving that a try, call this number, talk to this guy and tell him I sent you. And I did. And I started teaching part-time. And so for the next 2.5 years, I was a part-time instructor at a community college and a full-time software developer on the Titanic. And then on a Friday afternoon, I got a call from my boss, and he was telling me that the layoff had reached our group, and that my last day would be in a couple months, and to take the time at work to start trying to find another job. He didn't have to tell me twice. I was immediately out beating the bushes looking for another job. Every day, I was writing cover letters and resumes. And within about 3 weeks, I had 2 offers. And one of them was an excellent offer at a game company. I thought, ooh, this is cool. I've never done game development before. And I started on the very first day of a new adventure for me. This is a different type of software than I'm used to writing. And I thought this would be a good time to think through the milestones and events in my career that got me to this chair right here, right now. Why is this my chair? Because they were interviewing people, not just me. And the one milestone I got to was teaching. The skills that they hired me for had nothing to do with the work I was doing at that aerospace manufacturer. It had everything to do with the skills I had acquired teaching. And so I'm sitting there thinking, I should probably keep teaching for a while, and I did. Fast forward about 15 years, and I'm working at a small biotech startup located on the University of Washington Seattle campus. And everybody in that company, except for me, all 12 of them, had either MDs, PhDs, or master's degrees. And I'm thinking one morning before everybody showed up and things got exciting, I thought I should have a master's degree. And so I applied, and I got accepted. And a couple of years later of digging through a mountain of homework, I got a master's degree in computer science. And then I started teaching again. It's something I remembered. I hadn't done it a while. And it was something I really wanted to get back to. And I found Lake Washington Institute of Technology. And I taught here for a couple of years. And then a full-time position opened up. And I applied for it, and I got it. And I'm sitting at my desk on that first day of yet a new adventure. But it's more than that. This is a career change for me. I went from being a full-time software engineer for over 30 years to being a full-time instructor. And I thought, if ever there was a good time to think back through the milestones and events, this is it. And I thought about the master's degree, and then there was that aggregation of all that teaching experience with the work experience. And then prior to that was that layoff. And I'd since come to believe that layoff was probably one of the best non-academic events of my career. And I still mean that, I do it. And then prior to that was that 4-year degree where my career had started. Now, I'd done this before, thinking back through the milestones and the events. And I got to that 4-year degree, and that's where I would stop when I'd done this in the past. But this time I'm thinking, wait a minute, there's one more stop that I've never, ever really acknowledged before. And that's that class I took at the community college, that one 10-week part of my life that I was a student at a community college. The guy that taught that class put me on a wave 45 years ago that I'm still riding today. I've never ever thought, geez, I wish I'd studied something else. It's always, once I found it, that's all I ever really wanted to do. And as I thought about what that guy did for me, for my life, not just my education, but my life, and I thought, I can't even remember that guy's name. But then I realized there's another way, probably a better way, to make an expression of gratitude in a situation like this, and that's to pass it along. And that's what I teach. Give me a second. I don't mean to spoil the applause, but I'm almost done. I'm not quite done. There's one other thing I want to say, and that's why am I telling you all this? Because sooner than you may realize, everybody here graduating today is going to be on a new adventure of some kind as a direct result of the hard work and sacrifice you put into going to school here. You did good. This is one of your milestones. Keep that in your pocket. You might need that later. As you move through your career, there will be other new adventures. Take a moment in those initial moments of those new adventures and think, why is it that you got to that chair? It'll add direction and focus to your career decisions. And if you happen to decide that you've accumulated a debt of gratitude, think about how you might pass it along. Teaching's not for everyone. It's what works for me the best. But whatever way you come up with, I would suggest you find a way to be generous with your knowledge and patient with the people that want to follow in your footsteps. And if somebody says, how do I get started on a career like yours? You tell them Lake Washington Institute of Technology.
Thank you, Associate Professor Abbott. I now have the privilege of introducing our student speaker. Nilufar Mirhashemi joins us today as a graduation candidate of the Computer Science Direct Transfer Agreement, and she also has served as the college as the president of our International Student Club.
Hello, salute, niha, hola, salam. Welcome all faculty, friends, family, the class of 2019, and all international students. As an international student in a college with almost 5,800 domestic and 120 international students, it is still amusing to me that most people, especially English native speakers, cannot pronounce my name and my country's name correctly. It's true. Whenever I introduce myself and say where I am from, people say, oh yeah, we know, Iran. And I say, oh really? How long did you run? You see, it's Iran. The I makes the sound E, just as they teach in preschool. And since I talk about teaching and learning from a young age, I want to thank my parents who always not only support me in all of my life, but also believe in me that I'm special and I can do everything that I want. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. I love you both. I'm the first woman in my family who entered the university and get a university degree. After graduating, thank you. After graduating, I decided to continue my education out of Iran, and I knew I wanted to come to the United States to see people, culture, and a country which I was only saw in the news. So I came alone to the different continents, and the first word thing that I saw, well, actually heard, was the speaker sound of Seattle Airport. It was in Chinese. And then the passport checking counter, luggage carrier, taxi driver, and so on, show me that I'm in a country with a vast variety of cultures. Being a student at LWTech and a president of International Student Club gave me an excellent opportunity to know more about other people. People who, like me, have different nation, culture, language, skin color, and even have difficulty with pronouncing their name from others. However, if there is only one thing that made you be confident, is everyone. And when I say everyone, I literally mean everyone, is welcome at LWTech. Indeed, it is an peculiar slogan that you belong to LWTech. One of the best moments for me was when I was in classroom. Nothing can make you more comfortable when you know all advisors, teachers, and your classmates are ready to help you reach the highest point of your ability. LWTech gave me a chance to know who really I am and how I want the world to see me. LWTech taught me to be proud to myself as I am and my cultural heritage. Even though I have to check others' boxing forms. So I'm telling you, always believe in yourself and be your own role model. You are different, and this difference is beautiful. And all these differences between you and other people make the world become a more beautiful place to live in. So I say my name. Thank you. So I say my name and my nationality loud and proud so everyone can hear. My name is Nilufar Mir Hashemi, and I'm an Iranian Muslim girl who has followed my dream to the USA. Thank you. Thank you. Now it is my honor and privilege to introduce Dr. Amy Morrison, the president of Lake Washington Institute College.
Thank you, Nilofar. Good afternoon, graduates, honored guests, faculty, staff, friends, and family. It is a great day. This is a special commencement for me, as it is my 6th as your president. And like Nilufar, my mom is here. Now, before you get too sentimental, she's not really here to see me. Her best friend's daughter is graduating in our dental hygiene program, so she is here to root her on, as am I. With that said, I don't often get the opportunity to recognize my fearless mother because, like you graduates, I would not be here without her. So thank you, Mom. So not to favor the moms in the room, I do want to wish the fathers a happy Father's Day, a day early. So thank you, dads. I have to say this is my favorite day of the year. We come together to honor all you've accomplished, graduates, whether you've been a part of LWTech for a few quarters or several years. You've been an integral part of our community. And you've created your own communities with each other. You've accomplished so much during your time at the college. You've supported each other through your journey, and you're ready to take all you've learned, the relationships you've made, into your career or to the next part of your education, continuing on with your bachelor's or master's. You came to LWTech, as we just heard, with a dream, your American dream, and you leave here today with a bright future ahead of you. I feel incredibly fortunate that every day, alongside my wonderful colleagues, I have the privilege of seeing the American dream manifest in each of you. As you accept your high school diplomas, technical certificates, 2-year professional technical degrees, or applied baccalaureates today, I know you will go on to keep our community healthy, safe from cyber threats. You'll balance our books, prepare our taxes, build our airplanes, design our homes, educate our children, and prepare for us a delicious meal. You've overcome barriers, put in the hard work, and you've leaned on each other and our faculty and staff for support when it got difficult. You've worked with our staff in the RISE and Veteran Centers. You've met with our teams in advising, enrollment services, financial aid, TRIO, the foundation, and the library. You've made a lasting impression on our faculty and staff who each day are driven by our mission of preparing students for today's careers and tomorrow's opportunities. I want you to know that our community of faculty and staff will continue to be here for you after you graduate today. So please join me in taking a moment to thank and recognize my incredible colleagues, our faculty and staff, for their unwavering dedication and support of you, our students. Thank you for all you do. To my colleagues, it truly is a privilege to work with you each day. Now I'd like to share the story of one of our graduates today, Rizmina Latif. Rizmina is graduating today with her Bachelor's of Applied Science in Dental Hygiene. Like you, Rizmina had a dream of bigger things. Her dream of working in healthcare began when she was just 10 years old in Sri Lanka, but she was unable to go to college there. So after moving here 5 years ago, she knew it was her time to go to college. She began her journey at LWTech first as an English as a second language student, and then through a lot of hard work and a lot of support from our TRIO and IBEST faculty and staff around the college, she is realizing her dream of becoming a college graduate today. Rizmina's dream does not end there. She's planning to get her master's degree next. When asked, yes, we can applaud, definitely. When she was recently asked what the American dream meant to her, Rizmina said, quote, "It means you have the opportunities to do and be anything you want, and that learning never stops," unquote. I could not agree more. Rizmina, please stand so that we may recognize you today. Graduates, please take a look around the room today. You are surrounded by friends and family who are bursting with pride for all you've accomplished. They've been right beside you, and like you, they are also part of our LWTech community. Thank you, family and friends, for supporting these hardworking and dedicated students. This is what the American dream looks like. Congratulations. Graduates, it's time now to take all you've learned and apply it to your careers. You are ready for what is next. You'll leave here today with the skills, strength, and knowledge to do all you dream about. And I personally cannot wait to see all the great things you accomplish. Congratulations, class of 2019. Now I have the distinct honor to introduce our friend and internationally renowned speaker and social activist, Robert Taylor. Over the past year, I've had the pleasure to get to know Robert as he has worked in collaboration with members of our Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Council to develop 2 days of training activities around building a sustainable community of belonging here at Lake Washington Tech, where everyone who walks on campus, as Niloufar said, recognizes the college as a place they feel they belong. Robert was born in Cape Town, South Africa, and was sent to the United States by his mentor, Nobel laureate Archbishop Desmond Tutu, in 1980 to avoid imprisonment for his anti-apartheid activity. There, he served in the Archdiocese of New York, and 19 years after his arrival in the U.S., he was elected to become the Dean of the Episcopal Cathedral in Seattle, making him the first openly gay Episcopal Dean in the United States. Robert's work has been featured on radio and television nationwide in newspapers and magazines. He is the chairman of the board of the Desmond Tutu Peace Foundation and serves on the board for the Endowment for Equal Justice and was the founding chair of the Committee to End Homelessness in King County. Please join me in giving a warm LWTech welcome to a great friend of the college, Robert Taylor.
I don't think I was meant to do that. Thank you, Dr. Morrison, for your warm welcome. It is my distinct pleasure to be here today. It's been a joy to work with you, your faculty, and staff as you continue to create a community of belonging for each other and for your students at LWTech. I've seen firsthand the dedication, the passion, and caring everyone has for creating a welcoming, inclusive community for all. It's an honor to be here today to celebrate what LWTech aspires to and the great accomplishments of these graduates. To each graduate, congratulations to you. Today marks a new moment on your journey through life. Life will present you with many opportunities to participate in and to help create communities of belonging and inclusion. And so, as you take your next steps along the path of life, I invite you today to think about two things that you might want to return to over the coming years. The first is about what choices you will make to celebrate and to use time well. And the second is about embracing the gift of Ubuntu in your life. And so firstly, a few words about time. A wise person makes this observation. He says, "I've never seen a U-Haul behind a hearse." It's about whether accumulating stuff is what we think time is designed for. But another wise person says, remember, you cannot buy time. You can't buy time. Because we can only use time wisely rather than buy it, I invite you to think about the time that lies ahead of you. It's a precious commodity that can never be replenished, and one that only you can make decisions about. And now a few words about Ubuntu. Ubuntu is, I believe, the gift for who and how we each choose to be. It's like a GPS for life. Ubuntu is an African philosophy that has been at the core of the work that I've done with faculty and staff on next steps for building a diverse, inclusive, equitable, and welcoming community of belonging at LWTech. Ubuntu can be translated in several ways. One is, I can only be my best self when you can be your best self. Or a person is only a person in the context of other persons. So Ubuntu is about what kind of person you're going to make choices to be, how you want to show up for life each and every day, how you will use and delight in the precious, wonderful gift of time. So, if you are going to be making some choices about time and Ubuntu, let's learn to pronounce the word. Yes, it is spelled in your program, and it is Ubuntu. Can you join me in saying it? Ubuntu. It's not bad. Let's do it again. Ubuntu. Good. Ubuntu acknowledges that none of us is an isolated being, that while we may work exceedingly hard, as you have and as you do, to get where you are, there's always a community of people who cheer or support us, who challenge and expand us, who bring out the finest in us. Ubuntu reminds us that being human is about what kind of being we choose to be with ourselves and with other people. You are each equipped with new degrees or diplomas. And the gift of Ubuntu comes with the question of what kind of workplace, community, and world it is that you want to build and create. Because in reality, you and I are each builders and creators. We're not passive bystanders to life. So, will you choose to inhabit an engaged, vibrant, lively place within the human family instead of retreating to an isolated, cut-off corner of the world? Will you have perhaps a daily intention to understand, to uplift, and to urge on our common humanity, and thereby choose to reject any words or acts that demean or diminish or ridicule others? Will you choose a life-giving path of understanding, of empathy, of compassion, in contrast to those who sow distrust, suspicion, or fear? Will you mindfully speak with kindness, with encouragement, and facts in the face of those who might try to bully, threaten, or use innuendo against you? Will you breathe deeply each day to recommit yourself to be generous and grateful and loving in what you say and do, even when a few seem to suck up all of the air with mean, unkind, hate-filled words? Will you intentionally celebrate the power and beauty discovered in the rich diversity of the human family, while some might try instead to stir enmity? And will you go out on a limb for the uniqueness, the goodness, and the finest in one another, even as some try to debase and diminish or destroy others simply because they or we are different? The gift of Ubuntu is about a way of life, a way of being for each moment of our lives. And because Ubuntu is, by its very nature, a generous way of being, it is never about litmus tests, and it is never about beating ourselves up for the things that we mess up. Ubuntu invites you to walk with joy and with laughter and with playfulness as essential ingredients to your life and to your well-being. With Ubuntu, you'll find that you are generous and gentle and gracious with yourself, and therefore you have the strength to be that way with other people. And because you can never ever buy time, the time for Ubuntu is each and every moment of every day. Ubuntu will leave you with little room for collecting buckets of regret. So as we celebrate you today, may you relish being builders and creators of the world wherever you find yourself in the different phases of your life. May you embrace your capacity to help build and create communities of belonging. May you honor the truth that you and I can only be our best self when others can be their best self. And in conclusion, may you be intentional every day of your life about how you use time and who and what kind of human being you choose to be. May courage and joy be your companions on every step of the bright, amazing journey that lies before each of you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Robert, for your inspirational words and reminding us about the importance of community. It is now my pleasure to introduce Clara Helene, Vice President of the Lake Washington Technical College Foundation Board of Directors, who will present our Distinguished Alumni Award. Ms. Helene is a generous LWTech donor, as well as the proud parent of an LWTech graduate.
Thank you, Dr. Ruby Hayden, and good afternoon. What an honor it is to be here with you all today. I would like to have Nazi come up and join me. She is the recipient of this distinguished, yes. This Distinguished Alumni Award is presented to a Lake Washington Tech graduate who has brought distinction to the college, established by the Office of the President in 2013. This is the highest honor of the institution bestowed upon an alum in recognition of professional accomplishment and service to the college. The recipient for this year's award is Nazi Nabai. Nazi earned a Bachelor of Science in Nursing from Tehran University in Iran. She immigrated to the United States in 1989 and proudly became a United States citizen in 1999. Nazi began work as a certified nursing assistant as her nursing degree was not recognized in the United States. As a single mother of a young daughter, she worked hard to support her child, working full-time and then going to school. During this period, Nazi struggled with housing, transportation, paying the bills. And she once recalled saying, "I wanted more for my daughter, Nada, and myself." Nazi enrolled in the dental hygiene program at Lake Washington Tech in the fall of 2000. She excelled in her rigorous courses and thrived in Lake Washington Tech's very supportive learning environment, graduating with her applied associate's degree in dental hygiene in 2002. Nazi was on the dean's list, graduated in honors from the program. She says beginning the dental hygiene program is the single best decision in her life. Lake Washington Tech gave me a career in a field I love and a means to support my family. Today, Nazi is employed as a lead dental hygienist at Implant and Periodontic Specialist, a dental practice with locations in Bellevue and Issaquah. She is passionate about patient care, hygiene protocol, and recognized as a leader and motivator in the practice. She says, as a hygienist, I work one-on-one with our patients and set a program to improve their dental health. This is significant because it provides me with a beautiful opportunity to observe their health improvement over time. My goal is to create a strong and trusting relationship with our patients. Nazi also believes in giving back to the community at Lake Washington Tech. She volunteers annually in multiple events, including Freedom Day USA, Smile for Veterans, and the Oral Cancer Foundation Walk. As a former scholarship recipient, Nazi pays it forward by serving as a table captain for the Lake Washington Tech Foundation's annual Bright Futures Breakfast and as a generous donor. Further, as a result of her leadership, Implant and Periodontic Specialist has sponsored the Lake Washington Tech annual Bright Futures Breakfast for the past 3 years. Yes. We love it. Spring 29 brings 2 honors to Nazi. The award she is being presented today and recent news that her daughter's acceptance into the Lake Washington Bachelor's Degree in Dental Hygiene program. Congratulations to Nazi on this distinguished honor. Thank you so much. Thank you. There we go. We're supposed to look at that person over there. There we go. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Nazi. We are continually inspired by you and the other achievements of our graduates. Today, I am humbled as we celebrate and recognize the success of students who have completed their educational goals at Lake Washington Institute of Technology. Our students are graduating with a variety of credentials: high school equivalency diplomas, high school diplomas, certificates of completion, certificates of proficiency, associate's degrees, and applied bachelor's degrees. You will notice that many of our students are wearing honor regalia as a testament to their commitment to academic rigor and college involvement. These honor and achievement cords are described in detail in your program. We also would like to congratulate students who have participated in leadership development through competing in regional and national and international competitions, bringing home golds, silvers, bronzes, ribbons, and awards. We are incredibly proud of your accomplishments and the recognition of excellence that it brings to yourself and the college. Thank you and congratulations to all of our candidates for their accomplishments. Now, we come to the reason we are here today, the presentation of certificates and degrees. Our presenters are Dr. Amy Morrison, College President, Dr. Suzanne Ames, Vice President of Instruction, and members of the Lake Washington Institute of Technology Board of Trustees. Graduates' names will be announced as they approach the stage by 4 members of our college faculty. Our readers today are Professor Jim Howe, Computer Network and Security faculty, Professor Joe Nelson, Science faculty, Professor Phil Snyder, English faculty, and Adjunct Professor David Fox. President Morrison and members of the Board of Trustees, I present to you the candidates for associate degrees, certificates, and high school diplomas. Marshals, please escort the graduation candidates for associate degrees, certificates, and high school diplomas forward.
Sloan Hunt, Computer Security and Network Technology.
Destiny Joy Matters, Accounting.
Nilofar Merhashami, Computer Science.
Denise Cuellar, High School 21.
Terry Hoskins, Human Resource Management.
Lillian Jean Miles, Human Resource Management.
Sevda Imamova, Human Resource Management.
Tanya Scott, Human Resource Management.
Primal Sidhu, Human Resource Management.
Erica Hernandez, Human Resource Management.
Michael Sang, Machining Technology, Introduction to Manual and CNC Machining.
Shushin Zhao, Business DTA.
Crystal Herr, Baking Arts.
Kara Hersta, Funeral Service Education.
Megan Morris, Funeral Service Education.
Tatiana Fisher, Behavioral and Social Sciences.
Bethany Ruggles, Behavioral and Social Sciences.
Mitza Chantabuli, Behavioral and Social Sciences.
Zachary L. Taylor, Digital Gaming and Interactive Media.
Kate Johnston, Design.
Samuel John Isaac Hobbs, Environmental Horticulture.
Natalie Parks, Environmental Horticulture.
Raina Hesley, Accounting Assistant and High School 21.
Brianna Ramos, Design.
Isaiah Havalana, Environmental Horticulture.
Bree Olson, Computing and Software Development.
Alien Tatar, Computer and Software Development.
Carla Y. Johnson, Business Technology.
Christina Chavez Peterson, Accounting.
Felicia Coffin, Accounting.
Maritza Cardenas, Business Technology.
Ana Maria Negrete Merino, Accounting.
Melissa Sweeney, Auto Body Technician.
Brandy Werlinger, Diesel and Heavy Equipment Technician.
Rachel Hernandez, Behavioral and Social Sciences.
Beatrice N. Hisha, Behavioral and Social Sciences.
Jana Nazika, Behavioral and Social Sciences.
Logan Kurnow, Auto Repair Technician.
Mark Bondarchuk, Mechanical Engineering.
Alexander Shinakov, Mechanical Design Technology.
Dylan Dean, Electrical Engineering.
Henry Shaw, Auto Repair Technician.
Jonathan Stockwell, Auto Repair Technician.
Haley Martinson, Medical Administration.
Anjali Salazar Paramore.
Lisa Turapan, occupational therapy assistant.
Caitlin May Paddock, occupational therapy assistant.
Piper Mincy, occupational therapy assistant.
Anthony Vladai, occupational therapy assistant.
Anna Zerger, business technology.
Megan Vernosh, pre-nursing DTA and health sciences.
Victor Hugo Santillan Ruiz, electronics technology.
Sandra Cuevas Celestino, accounting.
Alicia Scowcroft, accounting.
Elvira James, accounting.
Ivan Munoz, accounting.
Tatiana Moknach, dental assistant.
Kalia Geyer, dental assistant.
Megan LeRae Euler, dental assistant.
Matthew MacArthur, welding technology.
Gail Lunsford, welding technology.
Sean Michael, diesel and heavy equipment technician.
Trevor C. Hodge, auto body technician and welding.
Campbell Kirtley, auto collision repair technician.
Crystal Paco Maldonado, business technology.
Esther de Anda Morales, business technology.
Katie Heiner, nursing.
Tiana Gracidis, nursing.
Shirley Golan Middleman, nursing.
Sean Cagney Callahan, design.
Trevor Brown, design.
Janice Ressler, design.
Kieran Van Heis, design.
Deblina Chaudhry, digital gaming and interactive media.
Elisa D. Bright, design.
Deanna J. Britton, design.
Jasmine Morrow, design.
Alyssa DeVore, design.
Alexandra Conklin, digital gaming and interactive media.
Adina Mancornchio, dental assistant.
Alejandra Castanedo Arceta, dental assistant.
Jessica Mendoza, dental assistant.
Kelly Clegg, dental assistant.
Evelyn N. Aguirre, dental assistant.
Ann Trin, dental assistant.
Zeltsin Barajas, dental assistant.
Dorothy Johnson, dental assistant.
Norman Rivers, electronics technology.
Vinny De Araujo, auto repair technician.
Jorge Ulises Medieta Campos, diesel and heavy equipment technician.
Alejandro Vasquez Ortiz, auto repair technician.
Cesar Ivan Becerra Gutierrez, auto repair technician.
Blake Anderson, auto repair technician.
Vanessa Adams, digital gaming and interactive media.
Rachel Boyer, pre-nursing.
Briselda Noemi Torres, medical assistant.
Melissa Garcia, medical assistant.
Diana Castro Negrete, medical assisting.
Vanessa Perez, medical assisting.
Caitlin Creighton, medical assisting.
Sydney Anita Meyer, medical assisting.
Holly Tate, medical assisting.
Christine Clifton, medical assisting.
Rebecca Joanne Pfaff, medical assisting.
Ashley Vasquez, medical assistant.
Falguni Amin, dental assistant.
Georgia Tohuluhas, dental assistant.
Rebecca McMaster, dental assistant.
Lizette Rodriguez, early childhood education.
Chase Brecken, early childhood education.
Sylvania Torosian, early childhood education.
Renee Lee, Early Childhood Education.
Kurat Alain Mahmoud, Early Childhood Education.
Dale Jendell Bowers, Early Childhood Education.
Miranda Yoakum, Early Childhood Education.
Ana Erica Yepez, Early Childhood Education.
Gabriela Albaran Magnuson, Early Childhood Education, General.
Soraya Gavami Long, Early Childhood Education.
Sophie Lalazarian Truman, Early Childhood Education.
Abra A. Zink, Early Childhood Education.
Courtney Wells, Early Childhood Education.
Monica Grabarska, Early Childhood Education.
Noah Greer, Computing and Software Development.
Mukta T. Howe, Medical Assisting.
Joey Blaines, Medical Assisting.
Arthur Kidwai, Medical Assistant.
Brian Kemsley, Business Technology.
Hunter Q. Johnson, Computer Security and Network Technology.
Sean Lee, Computer Security and Network Technology.
Michael Hutchinson, Computer Security and Network Technology.
Kevin Bowers, Computer Security and Network Technology.
Rebecca Brown, Computer Security and Network Technology.
Phil Bollender, Computer Security and Network Technology.
Emily Snell, Business.
Ki He, Business.
Ya Wang, Computer Science.
Karen Elizabeth Roth, Nursing.
Catherine Ann Raby, Nursing.
Diane Panganiban, Nursing.
Sylvia McClenathan, Nursing.
Karina Clark, Business.
Kirill Sakovich, Computing and Software Development.
Amira Salem Morgum, Computing and Software Development.
Napapis Decker, Computing and Software Development.
Benjamin David Carpenter, Computing and Software Development.
Riley Miller, Digital Gaming and Interactive Media.
Samantha Glass, Early Childhood Education.
Alexis Pereira, Early Childhood Education.
Gisela Granados, Early Childhood Education.
Devin Waldrop, Diesel.
Brandon J. Dickey, Diesel and Heavy Equipment Technician.
Geraldine Juliet Davila Pico, Computer and Software Development Transfer.
Javier Andrés Sarmiento Escobar, Computing and Software Development.
Kobe Kapoor, Computing and Software Development.
Abside Ibarra, Medical Assistant.
Caitlin Boughton, Dental Assistant.
Cole Thornton William Galino, Computer Security and Network Technology.
Mary Elizabeth Ford, Fitness Specialist, Personal Trainer.
Jonathan Hannon, Mechanical, Civil, Aeronautical, Industrial, Materials, Science, Pre-Engineering.
Manho Chan, Computing and Software Development Transfer.
Kelsey McCauley, Baking Arts.
Carmen Lene Small, Baking Arts.
Brittany Butch, Culinary Arts.
Lauren Robbins, Baking Arts.
Aaron Coover, Baking Arts.
Jovana Milosavljevic, Biology.
Sokana Nelson, Pre-Nursing.
Brittany Fiamengo, Pre-Nursing.
Carlos Maldonado, Architectural Technology.
Kyle Hauk, Architectural Technology.
Ambrose Perigonen, Civil Technology.
Eric Jason Miller, Mechanical Design Technology.
Andrew Schilling, Mechanical Design Technology.
Amy Mason, Architectural Technology.
John Stevenson, Architectural Technology.
Deborah Brownell, Architectural Technology.
Alexander Sherlitz, Architectural Technology.
Heather Array Lowry, fitness specialist, personal trainer.
Gabriel Stoltz, fitness specialist, personal trainer.
Franco Garibaldi, fitness specialist, personal trainer.
Molly Sage, fitness specialist, personal trainer.
Anna Walker, fitness specialist, personal trainer.
Lisa Shockey, fitness specialist, personal trainer.
Joshua Gideon Emerson, fitness specialist, personal trainer.
Patricia Garzon, accounting assistant.
Ken Alejandro Garcia Colmenares, accounting assistant.
Martha Flores Santos, accounting assistant, iBest.
Yaritza Godinez Arce, high school 21.
Elham Yazdani, accounting.
Maya Vashro, digital gaming and interactive media.
Victoria Isabella McCready, digital gaming and interactive media.
Shannon White, digital gaming and interactive media.
Jennifer Lynn Reindl, digital gaming and interactive media.
Leonida Morar, medical assisting, medical coding and billing.
Brian Schultz, computing and software development.
Michael A. Ginscherman, pre-nursing.
Eric Williams, diesel and heavy equipment technician.
Mengistu Mercia, nursing.
Sung Soo Choi, biology.
Lawrence S. Columbia, digital gaming and interactive media.
Shinji Lara de Perez, business DTA.
Jeffrey Howard, machining technology.
Samson Sonny, computing and software development.
William McKinney, high school diploma.
Noah Xavier Lucas, digital gaming and interactive media.
Jonathan Jones, high school 21.
Alicia Latigas, high school 21.
Sydney Patton, High School 21.
Nancy Pichardo, Early Childhood Education, Initial Certificate, and High School Diploma.
Maria Luisa Esponder Velasquez, High School 21.
Perla Esmeralda Sanchez, High School 21.
Laura Brunel, High School 21.
Marie Silva, High School 21.
Hugo Denise, High School 21.
Veronica Cruz, High School 21.
T. Mi Abel Wing, High School 21.
Anthony Lohr, High School 21.
Noemi Salazar, High School 21.
Nadia Golduz Shafape, Behavioral and Social Sciences.
Haley Gilman, Pre-Nursing.
Jennifer Morales, Health Sciences, Pre-Nursing.
Seftis Hargrove, Biology.
Juliana Matu Pesh, Culinary Arts.
Erkam Chakmak, Electronics Technician, PCB Design Technician.
Non-Tran, Dental Hygiene.
Maria Celeste de la Cruz, Dental Hygiene.
Maria Guadalupe Scott.
Brittany Forgy, Dental Hygiene.
Georgie Knirk, Dental Hygiene.
Carrie Burdick, Dental Hygiene.
Kalia McKenna Crook, Dental Hygiene.
Caitlin Labakan, Dental Hygiene.
Nicole Homer, Dental Hygiene.
Abby Marshall, Dental Hygiene.
Taylor Mazzone, Dental Hygiene.
Natalie Mae Dillon, Dental Hygiene.
Kelsey Hull, Dental Hygiene.
Christina Labakin, Dental Hygiene.
Anu Englishwar, Dental Hygiene.
Katie Menke, Dental Hygiene.
Deborah K. Cordell, Dental Hygiene.
Celeste Salvo, Dental Hygiene.
Jordan Lemery, Dental Hygiene.
Brianna A. Huggins, Dental Hygiene.
Angelica Reyes, Dental Hygiene.
Dakota Lance Wester, Digital Gaming and Interactive Media.
Dale Jones, Digital Gaming and Interactive Media.
Michael R. Tidwell, Transportation, Logistics, and Supply Chain Management.
Vladimir Mishkov, Transportation, Logistics, and Supply Chain Management.
Stephen Macmillan, Transportation, Logistics, and Supply Chain Management.
Candy Herrera, Dental Hygiene.
Brianna Cruz, Dental Hygiene.
Rizmina Nabil Latif, Dental Hygiene.
Ana Paula Gutman, Dental Hygiene.
Donna McKinney, Public Health.
Matthew Leopold, Transportation, Logistics, and Supply Chain Management.
Rena Krull, Transportation, Logistics, and Supply Chain Management. Do the next one.
Jessica Gutierrez, Transportation, Logistics, and Supply Chain Management.
Jesus V. Torres, Transportation, Logistics, and Supply Chain Management.
Antonio West, Transportation, Logistics, and Supply Chain Management.
Tanika Rickard, Design.
Justina Fu, Design.
Samantha Sharkoff, Design.
Royce Supranon, Design.
Rick Van Hoops, Design.
Michael Brooks Anderson, Design.
Shane Menzimer, Design.
Ian McCart, Applied Design.
Wyatt Carlock, Design.
Tae Tron, Design.
Nazar Yachenya, Applied Design.
Raymond Johnston, Design.
Marina Yesakova, Information Technology, Computing and Software Development.
Grace Cloughlin, Computing and Software Development.
Anton Feist, Information Technology, Computing and Software Development.
Payson Blackwell, Information Technology, Computing and Software Development.
Dmitry Voronyuk, Information Technology, Computing and Software Development.
David Kingsley McKinney, Information Technology, Computing and Software Development.
Kyle Reed, Computing and Software Development.
Taylor McDaniel, Public Health.
Melissa Feskin, Public Health.
Seth Solberg, Public Health.
Allison Evans, Public Health, Epidemiology.
Lisa Ann Alanis, Public Health.
Andrew Hung, Public Health.
Jenny Platero, Public Health.
Jemima Tyro, Public Health.
Donnie Nett Morton, Public Health.
Virginia Ellen King, Public Health.
Nathaniel Ryan Levenseller, Digital Gaming and Interactive Media.
Cassandra Rosenkrantz, Digital Gaming and Media.
Nicholas Welsh, Digital Gaming and Media.
President Morrison, and members of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of the distinguished faculty of Lake Washington Institute of Technology, I present to you the class of 2019. Candidates, your degree or certificate is evidence of significant academic accomplishment. It is not just a piece of paper. It is a symbol that you achieved greatness in gaining knowledge and skills that will help you serve your community and your family. The last part of our ceremony is the iconic turning of the tassel. Candidates, please rise. Tassels are worn on the right side of the mortarboard at the beginning of the ceremony. It demonstrates a commitment to your education. At the end of the ceremony, the tassel is moved to the left side to show that you have successfully passed this milestone. Congratulations on your accomplishments. Graduates, you may now turn your tassels. Graduates, please turn and face the audience. The smiles that you see are worn by the people who have supported you tirelessly on your educational journey. Thank you. Thank you. You know that they are thrilled to be the first to be able to celebrate you and your accomplishments. As our ceremony comes to a close, we recognize the hard work that you have put into achieving this milestone in your educational journey. Please know that LWTech and its over 600 professors and staff are always available to support you as you continue your journey of lifelong learning. Thank you for attending the 2019 commencement ceremony. We wish you all the best in your future educational careers. I am officially closing the 2019 commencement ceremony, and we truly thank you for attending. Now, please celebrate this accomplishment by joining your friends and family. Thank you.